Well, hi everyone. I'd like to show you a new product. It's from a brand which you've probably started to see across my store, um, Galaxy Tools. Um, what I've been looking around for is, I guess, not particularly an evolution of a tool which I think we all use, but something that gives you more convenience and certainly more accuracy. Um, you'll probably hear that word a lot across these videos: accuracy and precision, because that's kind of what I'm all about. Is trying to find tools for you guys that gives you that accuracy and precision you're looking for. And if you have that, then of course you can build your models with infinitely more detail. Um, what I've been looking for is something to, I guess, move forward, or at least give you an alternative for this stuff. Good on masking fluid. My go-to has always been sort of Valeggio's. Does a job. I've been using this for some time. Put that in a bit of into one of my palettes, and yeah, and brush it on. Um, Absolutely works fine without any problems at all. Um, Now, of course, the issue is it. I don't know if it's really an issue, but there's clearly that's not going to be ideal. There will be scenarios where you want to particularly do masking in straight lines, um, and also in masking which needs more control than maybe a brush gives you. So I've had a look around, and as I said, Galaxy Tools have something quite interesting, which I want to show you now. Now, what they've got is two basically masking pens. What they are is it's liquid mask, as it says on the tin. It comes in two sizes. The red one is zero point 0.7, and the large one is 4 mil. And that denotes the size of the tip, which you can see sort of there, and that's the larger tip there. In fact, I did have one open. Hang on a second. Let me find the one I did open. There it is, number four. So I opened the 4 mil just so I could show you how this actually works in practice. So I can take the nib off and bring that a little bit closer to the camera. So it's basically like a marker pen. One of those metal ones that you press it a few times to get the ink flowing. Exactly the same principle. But instead of being metallicized ink, it's masking fluid. That's what's actually in these pens. So let me put the top back on and give it a bit of a shake. Um, because just like that, just like masking, just like metallic pens, you need to give these a bit of a shake to make sure the masking fluid is properly mixed. So let me reach for a piece of plastic card, which I'll be sort of fiddling around with. Now, as I say, it's basically a pen which you use to put masking fluid onto. So you just press it a few times to get it going, and you can probably see there's a pool of that already forming. Um, Now I've used this for large areas. As you said, I'm using this as a bit of a test piece for camouflage. But you can quite easily do that. You could freehand draw on some camouflage quite easily. Uh, fill fill that in, and that's your layer of masking fluid. Very nice and quick, nice and easy. Much better than, or at least more convenient than trying to decant some of this into some kind of pot or and using a brush. Um, I put this material onto styrene like that quite easily. And the interesting part, of course, and reach for a ruler, is if you wanted to do sort of straight lines, which are very difficult with a brush. You have to use masking tape in effect for the line, and then you fill it with a brush. But with this thing, you can basically just draw straight lines of masking fluid. In fact, I've just messed that one up, so I'll do that again. When I was taking the ruler off, let me do that and take the ruler off. A little bit carefully. So you can see straight lines there. So if you do have an application where you need to do straight lines of masking fluid, these pens might be what you've been looking for, or at least what we've been waiting for. So this is the large one. I've picked the large one just so you can see it on camera. But the small one literally just go down to a very. Let's get that to camera. That goes to a very fine tip. As I say, they're quoting 0.7 mil for that end. So you could do that freehand onto models quite easily. Um, but straight lines obviously are much easier when you're holding a pen, which is kind of what attracted me to it, because I was trying to think of ways I could do that. So I get the sort of pen going, and then draw a straight line of masking fluid. Um, it takes a while to sort of get going, but once you've got the pen going, the masking fluid does flow. Um, it's one of those. It's a bit of a technique. You do need to practice to get these lines accurate. What I've also been trying it out with is, let me get my trusty paint tester over here. This thing. If you wanted to fill in these sort of holes, etc., it's probably a little bit too big for this application, but the small one certainly. If you wanted to do that, you could just drop a little bit of masking fluid into the hole, and you're covered. But I put a lot of electrics into my models, so I'm using LEDs. So when I've mounted the LED, normally I need to sort of paint the surface. So if that was an LED, for instance, what I tend to do is put masking fluid over it. What I would have done in the past was use the bottle and a brush just to brush over some masking fluid across the LED to stop the paint adhering to it. These are perfect for that. If you want to cover something up, a hole or something like that, just tap it and there's your masking fluid in place. If that was a larger hole, I could carry on sort of tapping in masking fluid until I was happy with the actual area I was covering. So that's kind of what I was looking for. This thing has its place. Absolutely, use that all the time. But these pens are an interesting innovation. I like the idea it's a pen again. I like the idea that you can hold this again for the accuracy and for the precision. You could absolutely do that with a brush, of course, using liquid that you're squirting out of a bottle. But I just feel that these kinds of pens are very useful, and in some applications, a pen may be certainly more accurate than a brush. And certainly this one, this zero point 0.7, I can see me, I can see me, I'll be using that a great deal for larger areas, absolutely for this one, but the 0. The zero point 0.7, I think many of you might find quite useful. So that is the Galaxy Tools masking pens. Again, those are probably on the store now as you watch this video. And again, if you have any questions about this product or anything else across the store, don't hesitate to get in touch.